Hello, hello, welcome. How are we doing tonight? Let me move this over here just a smidge. Welcome in. Hey, what's going on, everybody? For Rip the Lip, I'm Ron Thoman, and this is Kyle Hervé, and you're watching Over the Cushion, powered by MCM Contracting, serving the Lehigh Valley for over 33 years, owned and operated by Mark Daniels. This show is all about dirt racing, covering news, current events, and talking to drivers every single week. So appreciate everybody for stopping in and coming to watch the show. A huge shout out to our other sponsors for this show: Bodie Marks Racing, The Shop Automotive Detailing, or theshopdetails.com, Smith Fabrication, the Stage 1 Modifieds, I have it written down like 3 times. So the Stage 1 Modifieds, Smith Fabrication, DH Graphics, ProTech Roofing, and Nate Freed Racing. So really appreciate all the support. We are live every Sunday, 8 p.m. on both Facebook and YouTube. So full versions of these podcasts will be on those platforms. So appreciate everybody stopping in. Let me get my co-host on here real quick. What's going on, Kyle? How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Ron?
Well, I'm a little stressed, but you know.
Yeah. What kind of technical issues you
Oh,
having?
everything. It's like you hit the go live button and it says no, and then when I get it going, then it's not working on Facebook, so I have to restart it. So it's just never ending. I think I had too many things connected to Streamlabs, so it kind of got like a little weird. So I was trying to do it on Twitch too, but it is what it is. We're just gonna stick to Facebook from now on, man. We're not gonna overcomplicate it more than it has to be, right?
Yeah, right.
But we got your new and improved photo up as well.
Yep.
Rocking that stash, man. You know, it reminds me of who's that sprint car driver that they interviewed at the Chili Bowl? Blewett? Is that his name?
Oh, uh,
What's his name? I can't
not
remember.
there's several that come to mind. I'm thinking of Gary Ballou. I don't know if he has a
It,
mustache, and then Jack Hewitt,
it's probably Jack Hewitt, the guy that has that really
real old
funny.
guy.
The guy that had the interview a long
That one
time.
where he like screamed, like cursed out the the USAC flagman. Yeah,
Yeah, when he's talking,
that's
yeah,
Jack
that
Hewitt.
guy. Because I think they
Yeah,
interviewed him at the Chili Bowl too. And I
I
thought
did
that was.
not see that, but Jack Hewitt is a character.
He
And
is
to
quite the
be,
character.
to get compared to him is, I'll take it as a compliment, Ron.
All right, good. So, Chili Bowl. We had a little bit of Chili Bowl action the whole week. I think that's the only dirt race that we really had, besides the late model races. Gosh, I can't remember where they were, but they had like a 4 or 5 day shootout
I
or
don't
something.
remember.
Larson was
There's
like
also-
hammering, dude. He almost won like 3 of them.
I didn't even see that he was racing.
Yeah, he was running the super late model, man. He was putting the pressure on those guys that run it regular for sure.
Logging on to Flow Racing all week. They also had snowcross running, and
Yeah,
I
should-
love me some snowcross.
I wanted to watch. I just kept seeing that. I was like, dang, man, I should really watch that. That's got to be great. That's got like I remember it from like the X Games. I didn't know they like had like actual circuits and stuff doing it.
Yeah.
But
Those
congrats
guys,
to. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Send it. I was gonna say those guys on the snowmobiles really send it.
Oh my gosh, they got to be like hurting. It doesn't even look like, even when they land smooth, it don't look smooth.
Yeah, right.
But congrats to Logan Seavey on the Golden Driller.
Yeah.
That was a good run. I mean, Tanner Thorson ran him super clean. Tanner Thorson was faster, hands down. I know it was locked down in the bottom pretty much, but like, he was nice to him. It was good to see.
That track got black at the end.
Black.
And Logan Seavey, you know, him and Kevin Swindell obviously put together a really good car. Kevin and all the Swindells know what they're doing around that place. And,
Oh, yeah.
To hold off Tanner Thorson when he's on a charge like that is
That
pretty
car was
crazy, man.
quick.
He's fast. Even Cannon McIntosh, he started to fade a little bit when the track went away, but he was up on the cushion. That thing was out of control, and it was crazy how many people were hitting the lip last night. And,
They were ripping the
going-
lip, man. Ripping
going
it.
going up on the bike or like just junking it, man. It was an intense race. I saw a few people complaining about it. I don't really have any complaints.
It
I mean,
looked good. It looked good. I mean,
it was how it always is.
yeah. I mean, it definitely got locked down on the bottom toward the end, but I mean, 50 laps, and what are you gonna do? You know, if it blackens out, you're just gonna be able to do what you can do, I guess. But no, I mean, Tanner ran him super clean. I thought he would have gave him a bigger shot, try to move him out off the bottom, but hey,
Yeah.
he kept it down low, protected, ran his race, and rest is history, man.
Kind of felt like, I want to say 2019 maybe, when it was Bell and Larson up front and it was locked down around the bottom, and then I think, who was it, Larson, or I think Bell moved Larson off the bottom, jumping the inside berm and pushed him up a little bit.
I'll have to
It
watch.
was a couple years ago.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, it was one. I think Bell passed Larson, and I think he just kind of on one of the late race restarts locked down around the bottom, ran it in there over the inside berm, and kind of just bumped him up the track. He slipped up and made a little bit of a gap, but no, pretty good racing all week. I fell asleep before Friday's prelim feature. I watched all the other ones. Crazy wreck Wednesday night with Ashton Torgensen.
Yeah,
He is
really
all right.
glad he's okay, and he's
That
back at the
was,
track, like giving interviews and stuff. A little black
Man,
eye.
he looked beat up. I don't know if they said, because I watched his interview again this morning, what actually happened, because it looked like he had broken his nose, and I don't know if he just hit the ground that hard
I mean,
and broke his nose through the helmet or what. 'Cause
yeah.
the way the black eye was, it looked like he had broken his nose, because you could see some swelling around the bridge of his nose and whatnot. But man, that's crazy. That was
luckily the car did not land on him. Like, I thought he slipped out of it pretty smooth. I mean, considering what happened, I mean, he kind of slid out of it pretty at the, I don't even want to say the right time, but like, if you're gonna slide out of a car, I mean, that's probably as it's, you know, the top of the car is like near the ground, because he kind of just slid out and then it kept flipping. Like, luckily he wasn't hanging out, because I've seen like modified, I think it was like old modified races where like they would come out of their seats, but they were like half out of the car, half in the car, and it was like super super scary. Like I don't know if it was good or bad that he just kind of slid out of it, and luckily he didn't get crushed by it or anything. But like, gosh, that was insane. Like I've never seen that. Is it like do those? Because everyone keeps talking about the belts. I'm assuming they have like a quick release for like if there's like a fire.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a couple different types of belts you can run. Your normal latch and link, which is your most common. I mean, you just pull up and they pop off. But
because I'm used to the traditional 5-point harness where it's got that big metal hook
yeah,
that you click back.
That's latch and link.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's
hard to unlatch.
Like ball bearings. Sometimes, some of them, but I feel uncomfortable running one that doesn't have a Velcro piece on it to keep something from getting under there. But even like I've said it before on the podcast, I had my belts come completely undone when somebody ran into me at Bridgeport last year during the Roval race, and I still don't know what caused it. As far as I know, they were latched, but if you are running arm restraints, like I clip my arm restraints or slip my arm restraints onto the crotch belt when it goes in the latch and link. So it's down pretty low and they will sit over top of the latch if you're not paying attention, because you got a lot going on when you're sitting in the
seriously.
suit. Like your suit's kind of bunched up down there, you got your arm restraints, your belt your steering wheel super close to the latch and everything like that. You might not notice if you slip your arm restraint underneath.
Sorry, the roof is falling onto me. What's up?
You also have cam lock belts, which I've raced and I just
sorry.
Live. I'm seeing stuff falling on you. That's hilarious.
Dude, it's like sorry. It's like a really serious subject, and it's just like my roof is just like, nah, we're just gonna drop stuff.
That's hilarious. I thought the technical difficulties were bad. Now your house is a
Oh, it's just one after the other. But
I was saying the other type of belts you can have is cam lock belts, which basically is just a circle with a rotating release on it. And everything just clips into it. It's super nice to put together and it's pretty comfortable, but I'm super sketched out by it because you could just slip your hand down and bump your cam lock and just spin all of your belts off at once, which I don't know. I don't like them.
I don't know. It's a wild scenario, and I really hope. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be lots of discussions, meetings, talk about different type of stuff like that for next year. But I mean, maybe it's a fluke thing, maybe it's not. It definitely needs to be looked into because you should never come out of a car ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know.
Unless you really
you don't even know if maybe like something had happened and he knew the belts had come undone and was still trying to race for it because he didn't want to pull off and lose his spot and his points.
True.
I mean, I think you mentioned Jack Hewitt before. I think it was either him or Robert Ballou on a different podcast talking about one time they were winning a sprint car race at Eldora and the belts came undone and he ran like a bunch of laps at Eldora full speed in a sprint car with no belts on, and
that's like super old school type stuff.
He got out of the car and was just like, oh my god, that was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
I bet.
I mean, it crosses your mind. Race car drivers aren't wired right in the head. I mean, when my belts came undone at Bridgeport, I was like, man, do I pull over and fix this or do I just run it?
Just hammer. Yeah,
and the caution came out, so I put them back together and they sent me to the back for it, which I didn't think was fair, but whatever. It is what it is.
Only other thing is probably Jade Avedizian is the Rookie of the Year for the Chili Bowl, so that was super cool.
She had a strong run.
Kaylee Bryson had a really good run earlier in the week. She made a really nice pass on Tim McCready to get her qualifier win, which is super cool, and especially someone as like a veteran driver like Tim's. That's something to carry with you forever, man. Beating that guy, even though it's a car that he's not like known for, just anything on dirt he can drive. So
that was also Ashton Torgenson's first time in a midget, I believe.
Really? Oh, is he 600 driver?
I don't know what he normally runs, but I think in his interview yesterday morning, he said that was his first time at the Chili Bowl and the first time in a midget altogether. So, and then also had Hank Davis win a prelim, I think Thursday night, rookie to the Chili Bowl and started first row outside. He was
Cool.
pretty strong. He made some mistakes early on in the feature that set him back. I think eventually got spun around or wrecked. But
Yeah. All right.
had some local guys make some good runs too. Kyle
Yeah.
Spence, Alex Bright, Tim Buckwalter. They were all
The
up
re-
there.
the
So
nor- the regulars. Steven Snyder Jr. did pretty
Steven
good
Snyder Jr.
until
Yep.
his thing broke, but yeah, I mean overall pretty good showing for PA.
Yep.
All things considered, you know what I mean. So, all right, so we will shift gears here and bring in our guest for today. She is a dirt modified / sportsman driver at Grandview. I think she finished 10th in the sportsman. I'm not sure if it's open or if it's a crate sportsman at Grandview, but finishing 10th in points is like extremely difficult and a super good big accomplishment. The talent there is immense, and she also runs 600 sprints. Adrianna Delliponti. So hopefully she's still with us. I know it was like a little bit longer, but we'll see if we can get her in here.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, awesome. I was like, how do I unmute? I can't do it. How's it going? Welcome in.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Amazing. So I'm glad you're doing well. Your dad said you had surgery this week, so I was like really hoping you were still able to do the podcast. So hopefully you're recovering quickly.
Yes, I'm doing good, recovering good.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Yeah, so I guess we'll just start out from the beginning. Like, where did you first get into racing? Is it like a kind of a family thing, or were you just kind of interested in it from like a younger age? And where'd you start?
Yeah, so it actually was a family thing through my dad's side. My grandfather, my 3 uncles race at Grandview actually, and my dad never raced. Out of all of my cousins, my one cousin did race some quarter midget racing, but I was the only one to continue. I started racing quarter midgets at the age of 5, so I've been racing for this will be my 14th year. So yeah, I did quarter midgets, and then I've been in the 600 for 4 years, and been doing the modified racing for 2.
Awesome. And I mean, quarter midgets, I feel like everyone we've talked to on this is our 15th episode. I feel like almost everyone has done quarter midgets. It's like very impressive that's like, I mean, some people just start in junior slingshots. But man, Kyle, what's your thoughts on everyone doing quarter midgets? Is that kind of like the stepping stone? Like everyone should start in quarter midgets?
Yeah, I mean, so many
go ahead.
people that I've raced with. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So many people that I race with now I know, and from quarter midgets. I mean, I grew up with most of them, from people at Grandview and the modifieds to the people I race with in 600s. I grew up with most of them.
Wow. I mean,
I feel
yeah,
like most people come from quarter midgets nowadays.
that's like the place to start. So we'll focus on the modified just a little bit here, just because that's my favorite car, and I grew up watching my uncle race at Pencan, 5 Mile Point, different tracks like that. Makatech Speedway, if you know Makatech, but you know, early '90s, that was kind of like the Saturday thing. Is, you know, all through the week we'd work on the cars, then we'd pack up, and I was lucky enough to be able to get pit passes. They would buy me pit passes, but yeah. So you're running your Kenny Gilmore's Sportsman, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so with that car specifically, and Kenny being a past champion and just like immense knowledge of the car and the track, Grandview itself, how much I guess benefit does that offer you? You know, being the driver for that car and being able to pick his brain, or like him having there to help you set up the car to go as fast as it can.
Definitely. I mean, I've learned so much from him, and racing with him, and even his son, that whole family, they're really great. I mean, he's helped me every week. He's great. He talks to me about what I need to do. Great advice. But yeah, everything's great there.
Now, do you like the 600 more, or do you like the modified more? Because when I've only driven like 5 laps in a 600, but I've driven a Sportsman, and I don't know, I kind of like the bigger car, the more weight, you know, how the weight shifts over and stuff. I kind of like that more. I was curious what your take is on that.
Yeah, I mean, so they're totally two different types of
Oh,
racing.
yeah.
But I think if I were to have to choose, I definitely choose the modified side just because I feel like I click much better with the modifieds. And I don't know, it's been in my family for generations now too, and it means a lot to be able to do that, especially at Grandview. And I think that the 600s, like I said, they're totally different. I love it too. It kind of comes back to like the quarter midget racing too. But if I had to choose, definitely the modified side.
Very nice. Kyle, you got anything?
I want to drive a modified. I just don't want to own one.
Let's set this
can't-
up.
I don't really have any input on it. I mean, it is definitely two completely different driving styles. The modified is a little bit more slow and methodical a lot of the time, and the 600 is pin it to the floor and sail it off in the corner as hard as you can.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I still don't. I've only got a couple laps, but I still can't figure out how to get around the corner yet. So maybe this season I'll learn how to actually drive it. But yeah. I mean, what are your like? I know they're Grandview's coming back. They're actually going to do this season. I'm not sure anything past this season. I don't know if they're deciding to completely cut out the deals that they were working on or whatever. But how's it feel to race at such a historic track every week and race against some of the best sportsman drivers, kind of in the Northeast and just I don't know. I don't think I've ever been there, but just the historic nature of it. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. I mean it's a great track, and like I said, it means so much to me with my family, and everyone that races at Grandview is good. It's good
Mm-hmm.
competition. Everyone, I mean, that I know of, everyone that races at Grandview, if they go anywhere else, they're very good. They can compete. Um, and yeah, um, I have personally not raced anywhere else yet. I plan to sometime this year. So it would definitely be a test. But like I said, yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah, it's now they race on Saturdays, so I would love to make it up there, but I'm fully committed to Hamlin. But if they have any off weeks, which they usually do, I'm gonna definitely try to make it up there to watch a race because I've only heard good things, and some of the drivers are ridiculous. Now, have you only driven the Sportsman up there, or have you tried to venture off into the modifieds if they had it available?
Yeah, so I actually ran the 76er last year with Timmy Buckwater in his car. So I did get to do that. We ended up picking last in our heat race, so it was kind of hard, because I was new and all that. I did get to practice the night before, and it was just an amazing experience with not just even racing the Sixer, but with Timmy and his pit crew is awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely somebody that you want to be super good friends with, not only from his connections and his know-how, but just the information he can provide uh, with the racing side of it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's helped me throughout all my career with quarter midgets, 600s. He actually, when we first started 600s, came over and he took me up and down my street and was teaching me how to shift because I had never shifted before. So he's been really great through my whole career.
As far as I know, you just jam it into high, right? Is that
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like,
modified?
oh yeah. It's just low and high. It then 600s is like first, second, third.
Yeah, definitely. Now, on your car, do you have the high and low next to your right hand, like over on the like high up? Because like when I ran them, it was the older style, which was like you'd have to reach down between your legs and like jam it back into high. Or do you have the newer form that has the little short bars there on the side?
Yeah, so that it is on my right side, and then my 600's on my left.
Yeah, I always hated that. Anytime I've only driven them a few times, but I hated reaching down because I was strapped in and I couldn't. My arms weren't long enough to reach down and jam it into high. So I
Yeah,
noticed a lot of the newer cars start to put them like you could just do it with one hand. It's super easy.
Yeah.
yep, on the right side, yep.
Let's see here. So as far as the 600, you said you've been running that for a while. Any tracks that you are running this year with the 600? Or are you fully focusing on the modified?
Yeah, so we raced pretty much
Is it?
almost everywhere around here in PA and
Mm-hmm.
in New Jersey, Delaware. We first started out going to Shellhammers every week on Wednesdays, and then we kind of ventured out to Kutztown for about like the past year and a half. So I do want to continue doing Kutztown on Wednesdays as much as we can. Um, but we also now, with our program, we have the 600s, but we also have our own crate car, and we actually just got our own modified 358. So we're going to be pretty busy with that too. We don't really know what our schedule is going to be like. Like our full focus is Saturdays at Grandview with the Gilmores, and that car is an open sportsman. But I do want to do special shows with our two modifieds. So
Gotcha. And yeah, the open sportsman. Now, do they have a crate class at Grandview, or is it only open?
they run both in the
Oh,
same class, and then some special nights they do just the open class, but you could still run with the crates can still run, but then they'll have a separate race for just the crates too.
gotcha. Yeah, because when I was, going with my uncle, back in the '90s, 2000s, that's all there was an open class. So it was,
Hmm.
build what you want and then put a 2 barrel carb on it. I don't know if that's, if it's. I know there's probably a lot more rules, but is that kind of what? Could you possibly run your open sportsman just in the modified group too? You
I
think
mean,
it's
yeah,
strong enough?
they some people say yes, some people say no. I mean, some people I've seen, and I've been told that open sportsmen can keep up with the modifieds,
Mm-hmm.
but when they're, I mean, I'm sure when they're racing, probably because you're so tight.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, because again with my uncle, he would. I think the one night he won the sportsman feature, and then he was leading the modified feature until like probably like the last lap, and they did was put a 4 barrel carb on it and just like just went out there. But yeah,
Yeah,
I kind of missed the open sportsman rule package.
I mean, when I ran with Timmy in the modified, because I had run the open all year, I definitely thought there was a difference. So,
Big power jump.
oh yeah.
Couple horsepower, not too many. We actually have a question from one of our Facebook posts, which is kind of cool. Um, I'm gonna butcher this name, John E. Silvestrian. I can't really say the name, but he said he was just wondering if you have any special training regimens, particularly for your upper body and arms, for to muscle those dirt cars around. Good luck in 2023. Can't wait to see you in Victory Lane.
I mean, so throughout the summer, I do go to the gym once in
Mm-hmm.
a while. Just try to, stay in shape, keep active. Nothing really with the arms. I mean, I do sometimes weights at the gym. Like I said, just to keep in shape because, it is hot days out there and you're in a
Yeah.
fire suit in general. Probably not as much as I should, but
Same
I
here.
try. Yeah.
I'm sipping on a Taco Bell soda right now. Don't worry. But they have all those cars have power steering now, so you could pretty much. I mean, I knew a handful of guys that would just run one handed. They never ran with both hands. They would just drive with their left.
In the 600, I actually don't have powered steering.
I heard that was because I talked to Michael Nolf and he said he doesn't run power steering because it adds too much weight, and it almost doesn't make too much of a difference. And then your battery's also like, I don't know if the battery handles it, but you got to have the the mechanical brakes and everything running and all that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I've never ran one without powered or with powered steering.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard that it also takes away a lot of like the feeling too.
I can see that. Yeah, because then you
Yeah.
could just drive it with your finger and your thumb. Almost you
Right, yeah.
turn it too easy. You might oversteer too much, right? Or like because you really, it's all feel. So as you're trying to counter steer, what if you do it too much because you can't really feel it?
A lot of the time
Probably,
in the
yeah.
micro, you're pretty locked over anyway, counter steering.
Yeah.
You just slammed it all the way to the right. See, I got
Yeah.
Nick.
There's a couple different power steering units you can get. I know Hyper has one that you can put a dial on the dashboard where you can turn the power steering off, and then like it varies. You can crank it up a little bit, so you can go from kind of like power assist to full power steering, where you could just put one finger on the wheel and turn it. There's another one that there's like fuses or fusible links, something like that, that you swap out on the ECU for the power steering, and that changes the amount of power assist it's putting through. And then one of the big advantages is that you can really run like a lot more caster in the front axle. So when you counter steer the car, it puts more weight on the left rear. So usually it gets, with no power steering, it's too tough to counter steer the car with that much caster in it. And when you run that much caster, it adds more drive to the car off the corner when you're counter steering.
Wow. You're like an encyclopedia, Kyle. You just know. You just know things.
I've been thinking about throwing power steering in the micro, but I don't think I can fit it. I don't think there's enough
You got
room
too many.
for it.
You got too many dials, which
Yeah.
which brings up a great question. How many dials do you have in your car, Adrianna? Because Kyle's looks like a attack helicopter. It's got like he's got a, I don't know what, 6 dials or something in there or some. I don't even know.
Five shock adjusters, panhard bar, and brake bias or brake valving.
I have, I think, 4 in the car that I've been running, and then in the new one that we have, I think there's 6 now.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
How do you have time to like? Is that like under caution? You're like, hey, the car doesn't feel too good. Maybe I'll spin a couple of these.
It could be
shock
under
adjusters.
caution and during racing. It just depends on the situation.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I can't even make a lap. But I'm like, I gotta focus up. I gotta watch where I'm going.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know when the next caution's gonna come, so you just start.
You start
cranking on
spinning stuff. Gosh, man, that's
Yeah,
I mean,
nutty.
It's gonna feel after running the TQ indoor and trying to adjust shocks, brake bias, and the panhard adjuster on that while you're going around in Allentown.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel a lot easier to do it in the micro now.
Jeez. Do you have any like other activities that you do besides racing, like any other sports or anything? Actually, I don't know if you're still in school or not, or what you're
Yeah,
doing.
so I just started college this year, actually. And I'm also cosmetologist, and so I do hair. I have a little eyelash extension business that I do. I'm in college, though, to be an ultrasound tech, so that's about 2.5 years of schooling. So I am pretty busy outside of racing.
Oh,
too.
gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, you'll definitely have to plug your eyelash business here at the end. See if we can get you some more. We can get you some more customers. But no, that's great. That's a good solid. Seems like a good solid career path. It's like, did you ever think of
Definitely.
doing anything in racing, or is it you're kind of you want to, was it ultrasound? So you want to work with like pregnant women?
Yeah, so there's different things you could do. You can do anything from the organs in your body to pregnancies. You learn pretty much anything. I never really thought about doing work and racing. I think ever since I was just a kid, I knew I wanted to do something in the medical field. I have a chronic illness, so for past I think 5-6 years now, I've been sick, and I've been in and out of the hospital. So I know a lot about it, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just something that I've always wanted to be a part of. I think anything in the medical field is just wonderful, and there's always people needed.
Agreed. And yeah, just wish you, you know, uh, hopefully you can just keep it on. Just I don't know. I don't really know. I don't just stay healthy. I don't know, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, it's cool to talk to people that have these kind of like dreams and aspirations, because it's something I've never considered myself. I've gone to the ultrasound techs for numerous things. I have 4 children myself, and that's the only time like I've really been exposed to it. But like, they are the nicest people I've ever met, and they're so like knowledgeable, and it's just it's great to have them there. But like I never considered that myself, so like it's really cool to see people that have different outlooks and everything, especially since you're so heavy into racing. It kind of seems like it's like a 180 from racing, because if you meet some racers, maybe they're like fabricators or machinists or something along those lines that are turning wrenches.
Yeah, I mean, ultrasound it's a great field, and it is. You're right, though. I mean, a lot of the people I know do turn to racing, and then there's some that are the total opposite and just want to do, racing as the hobby. I mean, even when you do race, it's more of a lifestyle than it is a hobby. But
Yeah.
some people make it literally their whole life.
It's seriously, it's wild. Did you watch any of the Chili Bowl this year? Were you
I
able to?
did. Yeah, I watched most of it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I was able to catch usually the highlights for every night. Didn't have time to really sit down and watch most of them. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this year's Chili Bowl compared to other ones and the final race on I guess yesterday, Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think I watched most of it just because I was home recovering from surgery, and I think this is the first A main that I was able to make it through awake.
It always starts so late.
But I thought the feature was really good. Like I did hear some complaints about the track, but I thought it was pretty entertaining.
From what I could see, I thought it was great. I mean, sure, it got locked down toward the end, but like, what are you gonna do? It's like was it 50 lap race?
55.
55.
Yeah, I think it was 55.
Yeah, I mean, you're running those big Hoosiers on there for 50 some laps. Like it's gonna slick off, I don't know.
I thought it looked fun.
I thought it looked good too, and even the Tulsa Shootout was great. I thought it was really exciting to watch. I don't even know is there anything else coming up in the next few months besides in April when everything gets rolling? I don't really think.
I mean, there's Atlantic City's coming up, and
Yep.
at the end of February, Trenton.
That's true. Trenton Indoor Dirt. Are you going to that?
I am, yeah. As long as everything's okay, I'm gonna with recovering and all. I'm gonna do that. Yes.
That's awesome.
Did you run that the last time they had it?
I did. It was before COVID, probably 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
So it's hard to remember. That was actually my first year, I believe, racing 600s too. So it's definitely going to be crazy difference.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite tracks in the 600?
Definitely Kutztown. I feel like you learn the most there. Everyone's good there. Other than that, I love Lanco for some reason. As crazy as it is, I love it. Probably Lanco, and then I like Bridgeport too.
Yeah.
Oh, Bridgeport's good.
I haven't run the micro many places. I love Bridgeport, and I love Lanco and the slingshot, so I can't wait to get the micro there. Are you gonna run the modified at Action Track when they have that event?
You gotta.
I will.
Yeah.
I will 100% be there. I don't know how or where, but I'm gonna get my butt there, because that's about the size of Makatech used to be, and the size of Action Track. They kind of overlaid Accord on top of it, and Accord's, what is it? The outside wall in the turn for Kutztown is like the inside of 1 and 2 for Accord, so it's like basically the infield of Accord sized. And they're having the short track Super Series run there.
Yeah, we were just talking about this actually earlier, and I think I'm just gonna let everyone else try it out the first time, and then we'll see how that goes.
Ooh, it's gonna be good. They're gonna be junking lots of cars.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like it. It's gonna be really fun to watch.
I mean, I thought the sprint cars were crazy to put on there, but they're just so big.
Right?
I don't know if it's gonna work.
Well, he had last year when they did the slingshot. Was it the slingshot speed weeks? He had vintage modifieds. Do a little race at Kutztown, and the one guy had a car from like, had to been like the early 2000s. It looks fairly newer, but like it got around there pretty good. I mean, I don't think you can go 3 wide on the track, but I mean, there's going to be 2 grooves. They're going to be banging the boards up there for sure. It's going to be
Yeah,
cool.
Kenny Gilmore actually raced those. He liked it. He thought it was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I'm
That's what I was just
excited.
gonna say. They always have that one race up there with the vintage modifieds.
I forget about these races and then I get super hyped. I'm like, man, it's still January. This sucks, man. Like I'm so pumped. And I just got some new video equipment, so I'm like really excited to get back to Hamlin to make some more videos. But like, have you ever been to Hamlin? I know that's like the track's right down the road from me. It's my favorite, but a lot of people haven't actually been there.
Yeah, I actually have not been there. It's pretty far for me. I think it's about 2.5 hours
Man,
from my house. Yeah.
I swear this track is 2.5 hours from everyone. Everyone I talk to, it's so far away. That's why I don't go anywhere, because I'm like, I'm 2 minutes from Hamlin, so I could like ride a bike there.
Yeah, that's like us with Grandview. We're only like 35, 40 minutes. So for us, it's like right around the corner compared to everywhere else. Everywhere else is at least an hour.
Yep. Yep. Oh my gosh. Any chance that you'll be doing any of the bigger races for the 600 this season? Like, the skyscraper, or maybe that. What do they do? A 100 lapper at airport, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I love the Hunter Lapper. We actually have done that the past few years. So as long as my schooling allows it,
Oh sure.
definitely gonna try to do all that stuff. I'm not sure about Speed Week this year. I might try to do like 1 or 2 days out of the week. Um, Skyscraper possibly. I did hear that Grandview is having a show this year on that weekend, so we'll probably do slide towards that if that is going to happen. Just because I'm trying to get more out there with the modified stuff.
Yeah.
So do it, do the 600 as much as we can. But definitely still, sticking with the modified stuff.
Okay. And are you running? You ran the what? The number 5 car, the bright yellow number 5. Or are you running the what is the picture you sent me? The 25.
The car that I sent you, that yellow one,
Yeah.
that is my car. That's the 22A.
Okay. So is that a modified, or is that a sportsman?
That's the crate car.
That's the great car. Okay.
Yeah, and then we recently just got a modified car, so that'll also be the 22A. We just got that, so nothing's really done with that yet.
Gotcha. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so if you're watching the stream, here's what she's talking about. This is her 22A car. It looks super sick, like really
wow.
creative.
That's awesome.
Really cool color scheme. That's a nice looking car.
Yeah.
Those white rub rails are not going to be white for very long. I mean, did you take this to any shows or anything, or is this just like race? You finished it and you're waiting for racing season?
We actually ran the 38er with that at Grandview. It lasted, I think we raced 23 laps, and our motor blew. So we have a new motor in that now.
No.
Yeah, so that beautiful car had oil everywhere. It was a mess. It was not pretty, but we got it all cleaned up, all back together, and she's ready to go.
Man, that looks great. Is there there's a 7. So this is the Kenny Gilmore car, right? This is the Open Sportsman.
Yes.
The yellow 7.
Yes, that's.
And then you said you have another modified, which is a 358, or you just have a 358 you can drop into the 22.
No, we got a new car too.
Nice. You're ready.
Yeah.
You're ready.
Almost. We got to get that car together now, and then we'll be ready.
Now are you gonna pull double duty at any of these races, or is it kind of just like, hey, we're gonna do the 358 here, we'll do the sportsman on the other side, or like in another race? Like, do you have the trailer to bring both?
So it depends. I mean, we might do, like, if there's, like I said, they do sometimes the sportsman class and the crate class.
Mm-hmm.
We might be able to do just do those 2 classes, because Kenny brings his car that I drive for sportsman, and we can bring that car. The only thing is you're not allowed to on normal nights unless it's a special show at Grandview. You're not allowed to run 2 classes. You can only run 1.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Huh.
yeah.
Is that they don't want the modified guys running sportsman type thing?
Yeah, you're not allowed to run both.
Weird. I mean, that's weird for me. I mean, I'd say just let them race. Like let everybody race as much as you want. But that's me. I'm not a promoter or an owner.
I mean, yeah, if they did that, I would definitely consider, running both. I mean, not every Saturday. That's
Oh
probably a
yeah, that's
lot.
that's
But
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, I mean, we do their Thunder on the Hill shows too.
Mhm.
I think they're on Thursday nights, so we'll probably run those. Um, Either or. Sometimes they run the crates and the modifieds those nights.
Mhm.
But hopefully try to stick with the modified on those nights.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, you're getting ready for a really, really crazy season, and you're doing
Gonna be busy.
all your all your schooling stuff too. It's gonna be. And are you doing school during the summertime, or is that just normal schooling semesters, like August through May or June or something?
Yeah, so unfortunately it's nonstop. It's a 2.5 year program instead of four
Gotcha.
years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get a summer. I do get breaks. But it's starting in July. I actually have to physically go there 5 days a week. So it's gonna be a lot, but I'm gonna, that's another reason, Kenny's, great for us. Where, I'm at least gonna be able to do my Saturday nights at Grandview with them. And then do what we can with, the schooling, with our own program.
Yeah, it sucks that it's like constant, but I mean, it's nice because it'll get it done ASAP, which is
Exactly.
then you can
Yeah.
start your career, then you can maybe fund some more racing
Oh
if you
yeah,
have
yeah.
time. Well, at least
Yeah.
at least with that field, I assume it's more you're working in like clinics or something where like your hours are kind of set and it's not like a hospital environment. Maybe it is where like you're just like pulling crazy shifts and stuff. I would
Yeah, we
assume.
we do we dabble in both. I think through the schooling you get an idea of both. When you do that, that career choice, there's so many options. You could do anywhere from hospital 12-hour days to doctor offices and clinics 5 days a week, 8 to 5, just depends on what you choose.
Okay, okay. So you have some flexibility. You can kind of choose what you want to do and kind of make it work for your lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Now, the other thing I was going to say was that coming up is kind of the Florida swing for the modifieds. I think with the short track super series or even the dirt super dirt car series. Um, have you ever considered possibly going down to Florida or maybe Louisiana for the Cajun swing, or like maybe for like one race? Maybe like do the family vacation and then just go race one of the nights.
Yeah, I mean, we would definitely consider it. Um, Probably not this year, just
Yeah,
because everything, but it was definitely something I would love to do for sure.
yeah, that would be super cool. Have you ever considered, or have you ever, I don't know, not considered, but you think you'd ever have the opportunity to run a big block modified with the Super Dirt Car Series, or even at Bridgeport they run the big blocks there?
I mean, yeah, hopefully eventually that's definitely a goal of mine. Race anything. So definitely, yeah.
I think everyone, I think all the racers I've talked to, they're like, I don't care what it is if it has a steering wheel and four wheels, we're ready to rock.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, I think it would be such a cool. It's got to be a wild feeling just driving a 358, but man, sitting behind the wheel of a 900 horsepower monster. You know what I mean? Even if it's in that big heavy car, like that's got to be something crazy. Have you ever? Or I guess you said you have haven't raced really anywhere else. It'd be cool to kind of get down to Bridgeport to kind of see how that track is because that track looks crazy fast for those big cars. Even the Sportsman.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to get down to Bridgeport. Another goal of mine is I really want to run at Port Royal sometime this year.
Yeah.
That's
I
sick.
care to watch, and they're just insane. It's so cool. I'm definitely itching to do that.
do they run now? Is that for the big car or the like the modified, right? Do they run modifieds there pretty regularly?
Um, so I know they run the modifieds there. It's just special shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they did. I know last year they ran a crate show, but I'm not sure if they're going to continue with that or not. But either way, I definitely want to take either or there.
Nice. And then with with Grandview, they make you run the sail panels in the Sportsman, correct?
Yes, correct. Yep.
So you since you haven't really run anywhere but Grandview, you haven't run without the sail panels. I'm assuming.
Yeah, just in the modified and for the sixer, I ran with the windows because I ran the modified. Yeah.
Could you feel a big difference going into the turns?
I mean, honestly, no, just because everything was different
Yeah.
with, horsepower and also it all felt different. I definitely do want to try it, Sportsman out with the windows instead of the sail panels. That way I can get a little bit of an idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the short track super series, I think they require the sail panels on a lot of, on like I think it's on the tracks that they make them run a. Maybe they don't make them run. I'm trying to think because I've seen them with the sail panels and I've seen them without, and it just depends if it's a small block car. I think they run them, and if it's a big block car, they don't. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I think it changes. I've seen some where the crates run the windows and then the modifieds run the sail panels. I think it just depends on the event.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be cool to go run one of those shows for sure. But I always wondered the people that ran with the sail panels and without, if it makes like a big difference, or they're just kind of. I don't know what the point of them are. I guess when you're going really fast, it's supposedly supposed to slow you down more. All that the wind resistance, I guess, when you pitch it sideways. I would assume.
It was explained to me as like if you were to have a wing on like a sprint car or 600, it was like that kind of thing.
Oh.
That's how it was explained to me. I mean, I could be wrong, but
I figured it was like if you have like a piece of cardboard and you're running straight and it's you're going pretty good, and then you completely turn it 90, that air, like it slows you down like super quick. That's how I always thought of it, but I never thought of it as like a wing, because like the wings on the sprint cars, don't they usually just supposedly keep the car down? I don't know, Kyle, do you have any info on a wings on a on a car?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Well, on the TQ, you put wings on that, right?
We do, yeah.
What does the wing do for the TQ?
It makes me hate driving it. I'm not a winged racer, man. I don't like it. It locks the car down. It's a totally different driving style. You drive a winged car very, very straight,
Mm-hmm.
and just try to keep the momentum up, and it becomes more about how much horsepower you have, because it does lock the car down into the track. For me in the TQ, it just feels like the whole car is upset with the wing on it, and I think that's just because I'm so not used to running wings on anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, like a wing, a full wing like that or airfoil is going to have more of an effect than the sail panels on a modified. I think on the mods, it's more about the side force. And it's similar to what, if you look at the body of my micro, how I've manipulated the body to grab more left side air.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like that, because I know they do tech the bodies on the modifieds at some places where
like on the doors you
building.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
They were building taller left side doors so that the air coming across the car catches and sucks the car down across the chutes. Like it sucks the air down over the chutes and pulls the left side of the car down to get more left side bite when you're sideways.
Yep.
Which is kind of same principle we do in the micros.
Gotcha.
But,
I know Star Trek Super Series, they measure the doors.
Yep.
You can't have, especially on the crates, you can't have the door extend. Like they're like little extenders you can bolt on.
Mm-hmm.
Make the doors taller. I think that's what you're talking about. I think
pretty much. Yeah, I mean the wings really just lock the car down in the track when you're going straight. The sideboards help a lot in the corners. Which the sideboards on the wings are more similar to the sail panels on a modified.
So, Adrianna, how did you meet Timmy Buckwalder? How did you get involved with his racing program and be able to run one of his cars?
You said Timmy?
Timmy, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it all goes back to when my family had raced back in the day with the Buckwaters. Then we just knew them. Timmy was coming around quarter midgets a lot. So my dad and um, Timmy have been friends for a while. Then
Oh,
I was introduced to Timmy, and he's, like I said, has been helping me out since then.
that's awesome. Like a big brother. Just like, because that dude can. It seems like he can wheel anything. Anything you put him in, he's competing to for the win. So like having that guy in your corner has got to be huge as far as like racing knowledge and everything. Because he runs multiple times a week.
It's everything.
He runs
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, definitely. They're great family. I mean, there's so many great people in racing. Like, we have
Hmm.
such a great relationship with the Gilmores now. They're like family. I started out racing at Grandview with the Herthler family. They're great. They still help us out. They actually have our modifieds being stored in their shop, and they're helping us out there. So
Oh
we
wow.
we knew them from quarter midgets, and like I said, same thing like with the Buckwaters when my family raced. Knew them from there. So I we there's just so many great families, and I'm just lucky to have those great relationships with those three families.
Yeah, because Hertler's. I mean, I've been hearing that name for a long, long time, and he's won a few track championships. I think Kevin, right?
Yeah, yep, and Brian.
Oh yeah, Brian Hertler. He's got that number 4 car, right? Is that his
Yep.
car?
Yeah.
I try because I remember watching the modifieds at Grandview like on Dirt Track Digest, and I heard Kevin Hertler like all the time, or even at was it Big Diamond too, just like they're just always up front competing. It's it's like you're in some good company, and good for you. That's awesome because that's like such a good group of people to be you know connected with as far as like running in the
Yeah.
modifieds for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And without them, I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't probably be where I am today. I mean, they gave me the chance of, going into the modified world, so I'll forever be grateful for that.
Very nice. And the first time you were in it, did you kind of take it easy, or did you kind of just smash the loud pedal and let her eat, so to
Yeah,
say?
I think my first race I did start in the back. At first I honestly wasn't like very fond of it, just because of the difference with the 600. And then the more and more I raced, the more and more I just fell in love with it because I just really click with it. It's more of like, finessing and, with the throttle and all that versus like with the 600 you're always on it. You have that big adrenaline rush with that. It's really great. And I just fell in love with it. And we do pretty good um in the sportsman class so far.
They just tossed you in it and said, "Go run this race." They didn't even like give you any practice laps or nothing, or like ran out of track and give you like a practice session day or something. Like get in there
Yeah,
and
yeah,
run
we
it.
did do that.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
yeah. So Kevin rented out the track for me, and then his son Jesse ran a few laps.
Oh, nice.
So I did ten races with them that first year that I started. So Jesse kind of helped us out. He was like our pit crew guy, best pit crew guy out there, by the way. Um, but yeah, he learned a lot doing that. And then the next year is when we went with the Gilmores, and he ended up starting his career at Grandview.
Very nice. Well, I'm glad they gave you some practice laps in it because when
Yeah,
my uncle's like, "Hey, you could drive the one night at 5 Mile Point," but like they didn't want two different people running the same car. So when he took it out for his hot laps, they saw it, and then I missed hot laps. So I've never driven one ever, and so I had to start in the heat, and I only got like 6 laps, and then his son ran the feature. But like they were like, "Yeah, just get out there and don't crash it." It's such a strange feeling. I don't know if you felt the same thing when I hit the gas when it started. The whole car like felt like it kind of tipped, like the left front went up a little bit and it kind of sat down on the right rear a little bit. I don't know if that's maybe it was just set up weird. It was a New Egypt car, and we ran that 5-mile point. But like as soon as I hit the gas, the whole car like seemed like the weight shifted a little bit right before. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I had that when I went from quarter midgets to 600s. I had no practice laps. My dad was like, "You'll be fine.
Just get in there."
My first race was at Greenwood. I didn't start in the back or anything. I was just thrown to the wolves.
Well, you learn really quickly when you're, especially at Greenwood with those guys. You learn super quick. That's how I feel about a lot of, like, I like rookie classes, but like you get better experience if you're with really good people and you're trying to keep up with them, I feel.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep.
Awesome. Kyle, you got any questions?
No, I'm trying to think. I think I've raced you a couple times in the micro, maybe just at Shell Hammers. I'm not sure if we raced together anywhere else.
Probably, yeah. I started out racing at Shell Hammers every Wednesday for a good 2 years.
Yeah, I remember seeing you around there. I only ran the micro a handful of times, and then last year I really just ended up at Hamlin trying to get more consistent with the new car and figure that thing out, because I don't know, I'm really struggling with the car that we just built.
Yeah, I definitely want to get up to Hamlin. It's hard because Grandview's Saturday nights.
It's on Saturdays.
Too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have to rent a helicopter, just fly back and forth.
No lie, somebody did that one time. They you know the little field across the road, Kyle? Well, they like flew a helicopter and just like landed in the field.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they did that, and I don't know who it was or why. They're just like, you know what? Just stop it in real quick.
That's really fun.
But speaking of shell hammers, what do you think of shell hammers in a 600? Because I know we've asked this to a few people, and it's got to be, first of all, driving those cars is nuts on its own, and then that little bull ring, it's got to be super wild. Because I was only there once, and I couldn't even begin to imagine trying to drive one of those things on that little tiny track.
Yeah, I mean, Shell Hammers I learned a lot racing at Shell Hammers for my first 2 years. I think it gave me, that quarter midget feel still.
Mm-hmm.
You have such quick reactions. It's such a small track. And I learned all that through quarter midgets, and it just gave me that good step. Because you're not going as fast there. I mean, you're going fast, but it's so short and so small that it's not like you're all wound up like you are at Kutztown and Lanco and everywhere like that, even Green. So it was definitely a good learning track for sure.
Gotcha. Well, it looks like we're winding down here just a little bit. Really appreciate you coming on and just chatting racing with us. It was super fun, and just loved hearing about your racing career and kind of where you're going. I guess at this point the floor is kind of yours. Do you want to plug any businesses or any Facebook groups or Instagram, anything like that? Anybody you want to thank for getting you where you're at? The floor is yours.
Yeah. So thank you guys for having me, and kind of tying back, I want to thank the Herther family, the Buckwater family, the Gilmore family, my family. I wouldn't be where I am today without you guys. All my sponsors, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, True Brand, ProTech Roofing, CRC, and VP Fuels. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. And then what's the name of your business the small business that you have?
Yeah, so I work in a shop in Bluebell, PA. It's called New Wave Salon. And then I kind of run my little business. It's called Lashes by 80.
Now, can you find those on Facebook?
Yeah, so actually Instagram. I have an Instagram page. It's Lashes by 80 on Instagram. It's actually pretty sure it's linked in my Instagram bio, which is 80 Delliponti _.
I'm gonna look it up quick. Hold on. Lashes by 80.
Ron's looking to get his lashes
I'm
done.
really gonna get my lashes ready to rock, man.
Got to be the most beautiful cameraman.
There it is. Oh, and you got videos and pictures. Awesome. So it's when you type in Lashes by 80, it's the first one that pops up. Perfect. So if anybody needs your nail or your eyebrows, eyelashes.
Eyelashes and eyebrows, actually.
Awesome. Anybody out there that needs it done, you know where to go. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on. I know it felt like short notice because wasn't able to get in touch with you during the week, but yeah, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us, and especially I'm trying to get more modified people on here. Usually we do a lot more small cars, especially with Hamlin, like the slingshots and the 600 micros. But I'd really like to get more, and ProTech Roofing is actually who got me in contact with your dad, and then contact with you. So that worked out perfectly. Rob from ProTech was able to. He's a great dude, and he's like super into racing and just helping so many people, and it's really like an honor to have him be part of the show and to be able to connect me with you guys and learn more about your side of racing and where you're going and stuff. So that's super exciting because I like modified racing and I'd like to talk to more modified racers, but they seem to be much harder to get in contact with than the small car people. Maybe because the small cars are more younger kids, maybe. But
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming on and taking your time to talk with us here for an hour. I know it's somewhat of a longer show, but yeah, I just appreciate your time, and best of luck to you in the next season.
Thank you for the opportunity. I had fun.
Yeah, me too. Kyle, you got any closing statements, any questions or anything?
No, I feel like I say the same thing every week to people who run
I gotta
600s
ask
next
you,
year.
though.
It's like I'm sure I'll see you around sometime this season in the 600, and look forward to racing with you. And maybe I'll make my way up to Grandview and watch a couple of times, or come hang out in the pits.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. And then we'll definitely keep. Where is it? We'll definitely have to make sure that we keep your Facebook page, Adrianna Delliponti. Was it 22A?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah. Doing great on that. 2,000 followers, awesome. If you follow her on Facebook, Adrianna Delliponti Racing 22A, then you can see the races she's going to, and I'll have to keep up with that in case you go to some short track Super Series race at Kutztown. So really appreciate you being here. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, any kind of engagement, so likes, follows, shares, all that good stuff, helps the channel out quite a bit, and we can keep doing this week in and week out and talking to more drivers. So appreciate everybody that tuned in to watch and ask questions. Thank you, Adrianna, for talking to us for a little bit here, and again, good luck on your next season, and I guess we'll see you guys next Sunday at 8:00. Not sure I gotta look and see who the the next guest is, but we'll be live next Sunday at